Here's a 3-day family guide on visiting the Canyonlands and Arches National Park, and we share all our tips on how we saved more than $1,000 using credit card points. Day 1, we flew from San Francisco to Salt Lake City using a dual Southwest Companion Pass strategy. This saved us more than $400 for our family on flights. We purposely chose to fly in early to Salt Lake City so that we would still have most of the day to visit Canyonlands. For our rental car, we had $0 out of pocket because we used our Capital One Venture X travel credit and booked a rental car directly through the Capital One travel portal. After you grab your rental car, it's going to be a pretty long drive from Salt Lake City directly to Canyonlands National Park. That would be your first stop. Make sure to look for the dinosaur entrance. A great family tip: you can save entrance fees for both of these national parks. If you happen to have a child that is in grade 4, you can sign up at everykidsoutdoors.gov below. Make sure to sign up and register your child before attending a park and print out the form. You can use that form to get a physical annual pass card at the entrance of these national parks. Once you get to Canyonlands National Park, your first stop will be the Island in the Sky Visitor Center. We recommend the Junior Rangers program, mandatory pee break for your kids, and also getting your stamps for collecting your national parks. For a half-day trip to Canyonlands, we recommend 3 locations: Mesa Arch, Upheaval Dome, and Grand View Point Outlook. Each location had a small little hike where you can walk up and get a better. I actually had really hard time getting cell service at Grand View Point Outlook because I was still trying to get a better time entry into Arches National Park. The National Park Services uses a time entry system for many of their national parks starting from April 1st to October 31st for a small nominal fee to make the reservation. If you happen to miss the reservations, a limited number of open spots are provided or made available at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time the day prior for each of those parks. After hitting up Canyonlands, our next stop was to check in at Hyatt Place Moab, which is a great location where you can use your credit card points to offset some of the costs. We were able to use our credit card points to save almost $500 total. A great tip for families to save on food costs: you can find a grocery store in Moab or in Salt Lake City. We went to City Markets, which was a great stop to pick up lunch supplies for a hike to Delicate Arch and also dinner. Funny tip: you want instant noodles, make sure to bring your own because they were totally sold out. Hyatt Places have free breakfast for families, and it's a great way to offset costs. The kids love it because it has some of their favorite cereals. The number one goal is to complete the full hike to reach and see Delicate Arch. The hike is approximately 3 miles and 450 feet of elevation. The entrance to Arches National Park is located in the south end. The visitor center is also located there. To make sure you mandatory pee breaks for the kids, sign up for the Junior Ranger program, and also to make sure to get your stamp for the national park. It's a pretty long drive from the south end entrance all the way up to Delicate Arch. We recommend stopping in the midpoint and go see Balance Rock. We went in October. Parking was not a problem, and we were able to park at Wolf Ranch. The trailhead starts at the parking lot. You'll pass by Wolf Ranch. You'll see some rock art, and then you'll start hiking up some elevation. The hike up this rock face can be a little bit scary for people who have fear of heights. And we watched one of our water bottles roll down the cliff. After, you'll be hiking along a flat plateau before another small section of ascension before you reach the Delicate Arch. As someone that's scared of heights, that last section and walking along a cliff face was the hardest for me. After you get to Delicate Arch, having your lunch there, it is an incredible view. It is a little bit busy with a lot of people there also. Make sure to take all the garbage out with you. For the Delicate Arch hike round trip with 3 children, youngest with a 4-year-old, took us around approximately 3 hours. After that 3-hour hike, went to go see the north and south window. Unfortunately, our children were pretty tired and wanted to call it a day after seeing those last 2 arches. Dinner was pretty simple. We had instant noodles from City Market and it cost less than $15. Day 3, we had planned 2 days at Arches National Park, so we wanted to make sure to see all the other arches such as Landscape Arch. You'll want to make a stop at Sand Dune Arch. Here you'll feel like you're transported into the movie Dune. Tip for families: make sure to bring extra pair of socks for you and the kids because the fine sand does get into your shoes if you're wearing sneakers. After Sand Dune Arch, we made our way up to Devil Gardens Trailhead. Here you're able to see Pine Tree Arch, Tunnel Arch, and the famous Landscape Arch. You'll make a small detour to see the first 2 before making your way all the way in to see Landscape Arch. After a landscape arch, you could actually continue on to see multiple arches such as Partition Arch and Navajo Arch. During the hike, our youngest was 4, and unfortunately he was wearing sneakers that had no treads. We did not feel it was safe for him to go up that rock face. Our older 2 and my wife went up to go explore. Also, it was a little bit scary for me and my phobia of heights. After getting back, you'll have to drive all the way back down and make your way back up to Salt Lake City. That's at least 2.5 hours of driving, so make sure to have that planned. Here's our final rundown on how much money we saved using credit card points, and if you're interested on learning how to use those points to save more, check out this next video.